if you're trying to have the greenest smoothie and trying to go to the gym and you're getting stressed about doing all of that, it negates the healthy things that you get from doing those things. I don't think it's healthy to be so obsessive with being extremely healthy, because that obsessiveness then leads to stress. In Italy, there is just so much less pressure. Even when I'm there, I feel there's less pressure to be on it and be hustling and be exercising. It's just be. Everything is less forceful. Hello beautiful people, welcome to this video. I'm Alessia and I'm really excited to share with you my healthy Italian girl ways of living that I've acquired as somebody who is half Italian. My mum's Italian. I've spent a lot of time in Italy, a lot of my family live there. I'm so excited to give you my little pearls of wisdom. I just quickly want to share with you these facts. So Italy is ranked above 100 nations as the healthiest and longest living populace on the planet. Italy has the highest share of citizens aged 65 or over in the entire European Union. So yeah, we want to learn from the Italians. Bread and pasta is not the enemy. I think this is really difficult for a lot of us women because we've been submerged in this diet culture from a very young age, and we've been taught that carbs are the enemy, carbs are scary, particularly pasta and bread. For me, if I didn't have bread in my life, I genuinely think my life would be so much less enjoyable, and I think I'd have a lot less energy because I really rely on bread to give me that energy to then enable me to do my workouts, enables me to go and see my friends. I don't want to say bread makes me happy, but bread makes me happy. There is nothing better than sprinkling some extra virgin olive oil and some salt onto a French baguette. The easiest, quickest, stress-free snack. That is one thing that Italians do well. They make delicious, simple food that is stress-free. They don't spend ages trying to find the healthiest, cleanest, low in carb foods. They just get good bread, they get good vegetables, they get local ingredients, and they make something quite simple that is so enjoyable and stress-free. I think a lot of us can agree that stress is probably the worst thing for our general health. Obviously, we all have different bodies and some of us have gluten intolerances, so I'm not, speaking to everyone. Everyone go and enjoy as much bread as you want. I'm just saying, if you enjoy bread and you find that it's fulfilling and it energizes you, then you don't need to cut it out. So many of us, particularly women again, feel really guilty if we have a bowl of pasta instead of a bowl of salad. And yeah, we've got kind of toxic diet culture to blame for that. But actually, what I've learned from being in Italy is that pasta is the source of happiness and health for a lot of people. You see a lot of beautiful people, happy people, sitting outside restaurants, eating big bowls of pasta or having bread and olive oil and olives for starters. I have been kind of taken by the toxic diet culture's message that bread is not good for you and it's dangerous. I've listened to that in the past and I've cut bread out and I've actually cut pasta out before. I think that was also because I was really unhappy in my appearance and I was always wanting to change things and make myself, slimmer and the usual. And I think I've healed that and I've learned to accept myself and my body. Obviously, I have a conventionally attractive body. I'm white, I'm able-bodied, I'm slim, so I'm lucky in that sense. But I did still struggle with body image insecurities, and I did cut out bread as a consequence of that. And I think because I've managed to heal in a lot of senses and embrace life in this body, I'm now able to enjoy bread. So I get that it is a process, but I definitely think you shouldn't cut out bread if you really enjoy it. You find your body enjoys it too, it feels right eating it. I don't think you should cut it out just because a lot of toxic diet culture says carbs are the enemy, because that is just a load of nonsense and there is so much science to back that up. But anyway, I'm not, an expert when it comes to food. I just wanted to say that bread is amazing and olive oil, extra virgin olive oil is amazing. That's another thing that people think is bad for you. A lot of English people, I don't know if American people are the same, but a lot of English people have this huge steak and then a tiny little portion of vegetables that are completely dry, that are just boiled with no salt, no olive oil, no seasoning on top. And you wonder why English people don't enjoy vegetables and don't eat as healthy as they could do. Italians eat healthy because they dress their vegetables. This is something that I've learned from my mum, and I'm sure my mum's learned from my nonna. I've watched her cook and she just piles in the seasoning. You make vegetables taste amazing when you dress them. Annoyingly, in this video I do have to generalise a bit because I'm just talking about Italians as if every Italian's the same, which they're not. But in general, what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what I've learnt from family is that food is a great excuse to relax and to be mindful. A lot of Italians really take their time to eat their lunch. They make an actual event out of every food experience. Even on a work day, you will often find people sitting outside on a bench having their lunch, having a really delicious lunch as well, not having lunch on the go. Yeah, in Italy, they do just take the time and the space to eat and make the most of that experience and kind of look up whilst they're eating and appreciate their surroundings. And there's a lot of gratitude involved in that experience. And I think, I'm sure there's science to actually back this up as well, that will really help with your digestion and make sure that you really chew and you take the time to break down your food, and then you get to get more nutrients from the food. In Italy, dinner time is such a thing as well. We lay the table. This is something that I've done ever since I was a child. Always lay the table. We make the table look nice by adding candles and maybe a tablecloth, and everybody sits down and eats together, and it becomes an excuse to catch up and connect and express opinions. I just think this makes it a really magical experience too. It adds that little bit of connection into each day, and it's a lovely routine. And I think it's really healthy to express your opinions and your feelings with the people that you're living with. It's nice because it unites you and it makes you feel less alone. If you want to feel more connected to your family, sitting down at the dinner table and asking them questions about their life, about their day, is brilliant, and hopefully they'll do the same with you. And this is something that Italians have got right. I think this is why Italian families are known for being so tight-knit and strong. It's dinner time, it's connecting over food. One thing I have noticed in Italy as well is that young people don't tend to be that shy about telling their parents about someone they fancy or the romance that's going on in their life. Whereas in England, we are a lot more awkward about it, about telling our parents that we fancy someone, especially when we're younger. In Italy, kids don't really tend to get that embarrassed or shy because they sit at the table a lot and they converse. And I think that enables people to kind of enjoy their time with their family more, and for it to feel more like kind of friends conversing as opposed to I'm with my family so I can only talk about my plan for the future. No, in Italy it's more let's talk about life and romance and politics. I'm generalizing again, but I've spent time with many different Italian families and I've always noticed everyone is so upfront with their opinions and things can get fiery, but it's interesting. It is just the most healthy habit to make sure you're staying connected with other humans. And Italians do that. Even if you live alone and you don't have, people to have dinner with every night or lunch with, I think it's just great to make sure you have those little connections with humans when you go out. Maybe when you walk to the shop, you smile at someone or you ask how someone's doing if you're sat next to them on a bench at the park. This is something that, again, in Italy, it happens more. I think because in Italy, people have their heads up. Whereas in England, I feel like people very much have their heads down. In general, in Italy, I have noticed people do tend to be more open to chat to strangers and converse with strangers and smile at strangers. And I think that's nice because it then makes the world feel like a big family as opposed to a load of scary people that you don't know and that you have to avoid. Okay. Another thing that Italians do is they walk. They walk everywhere. I much prefer walking and seeing other people whilst I'm on my walk, live their lives and exploring places. I much prefer doing that than going to a gym. And this is one thing that my dad actually voice noted me about the other day. He was like, oh yeah, Leslie, I'm trying to find a gym. He's in Italy. He was like, I can't find a gym. Italy's not like England, there's not many gyms here. And I was thinking about that and I was like, actually, I quite like that. And I think that might be because there's less emphasis and focus and obsession with wellness, being healthy. I have to be healthy. I have to go to the gym 5 times a week. Yeah, in Italy, there's just less, I have to do this for my my wellness. I have to take a break so I'm more productive. In Italy, it's more just go with the flow. Walk around, explore new towns, go and chat to people in the square. People just don't really take themselves too seriously. Again, I am really generalizing, but I do think that I've noticed in Italy, people prioritize life as opposed to wellness. They prioritize socializing and having fun. And I think this is really healthy. I don't think it's healthy to be so obsessive with being extremely healthy, because that obsessiveness then leads to stress. If you're trying to have the greenest smoothie and trying to go to the gym and you're getting stressed about doing all of that, then it negates the healthy things that you get from doing those things. In Italy, there is just so much less pressure. Even when I'm there, I feel there's less pressure to be on it and be hustling and be exercising. It's just be, just socialize, walk. Everything is less forceful. And I do think in England, a lot of us do tend to be quite forceful just with our lives in general. Even when we are trying to relax, we're relaxing because we want to be more productive later on. So even the relaxing is so forced and unnatural and not that fun. I don't know if I'm ranting a little bit. I'm really sorry if it's coming across as quite aggressive. I'm coming from a real passionate place because actually I'm missing Italy. Another thing that I think is really healthy that Italians do is they observe other people. When I'm in Italy, when I'm at the beach, I just watch people. People watching is so fun, and I do it alongside everyone else on the beach. All the Italians are watching each other. Italians are observers, and don't get me wrong, every now and then it might come from a judgmental place, like my nonna can sometimes be very judgmental, but a lot of people are actually just observing, they're just curious. And I think that's so natural and normal, and we all have the urge to watch other humans live and be silly and cuddle and kiss and fight. That's quite a natural urge and a natural desire to just see life outside our own. That's why, you know, when we're babies, we just stare at people, and that's accepted and normal, and then we kind of learn not to do that because we want to be polite. It can be quite a good thing to do to keep you present in the moment. Instead of being on your phone and looking at a screen when you're out and about in public, looking at other people living their lives, obviously not staring and making people uncomfortable, but kind of just like gazing around and taking in everything that's going on around you is so good and healthy and relaxing. And yeah, it really brings your awareness to the present moment. That will help counteract feelings of anxiety. You know, being present, that actually makes you feel so relaxed. And it's no wonder that a lot of Italians are relaxed, and that the culture does seem to be quite a relaxed, casual culture of just being, yeah, this is life, I'm with my family, I'm chilling. It's because people in Italy are really attentive in the moment. For a lot of us in Britain, for a lot of my friends, we are very swept up by kind of hustle culture and trying to be productive and trying to be successful, and that means we kind of we live to work as opposed to work to live. And I know a lot of us will say in England, I've had many conversations where people are saying, yeah, I want to work to live, but a lot of us are not actually living up to that, and we are pushing ourselves and working too hard, and it's not our faults because we are surrounded by people who are all doing the same thing, so naturally we want to fit in because that's just what we do as humans, so we all kind of do the same thing. And in England, I feel like a lot of us are just working too hard and then looking at the next person working too hard and thinking, well, I need to work better than them, or I need to do the same amount as them so I don't feel left out and I don't feel not good enough. So we carry on, and it just becomes a part of our culture to be kind of workaholics. Whereas in Italy, I think the culture isn't being lazy. Italians are not lazy. They just have a good balance of life and work. And life tends to come first. Again, I'm generalizing, but I just think Italians really know how to prioritize the right things. I actually have a really lovely quote that I found by Erica Gong. What is the fatal charm of Italy? What do we find there that can be found nowhere else? I believe it is a certain permission to be human, which other places, other countries lost long ago. I think that's a lovely way to end this video. Please please like, share, give me a little subscribe, pop me a little comment, let me know what tip you like the most, or if you've been to Italy and what you've learnt. Obviously, I'm not trying to romanticize Italy and just make it out like it's this picture perfect place and that everyone's got it right there, because, you know, every place has their problems, and yeah, I'm sure you know that. I just think there's a lot to learn from Italians and Italian culture. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy my other videos that I'm going to link now. Go ahead and watch them. I talk a lot about wellness. So yeah, go and give my other videos a watch. And I'll see you next week with another video.